I'd like to call our open board meeting to order. Mike, would you lead us in the salute to the flag?
Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Mike, would you please do roll call?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Christine Patterson.
Here.
Diana Miller.
Here.
Susan Lorcella.
Here.
Amy McSweeney.
Here.
Sharon Falkowitz.
Here.
Chad Henderson.
Here.
On behalf of management, Corey Harris and myself in attendance. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Before I start the normal proceedings, I want to do two things. Number one is I want to thank Jerry Weiss for the time he spent here on the board, the year that he spent giving his time to us. He's got a lot of things on his plate, and he's doing a great job of keeping the balls in the air, as they say. So I wish you all the best, Jerry. From here and going forward, all the best. So with that, we had an open board position. Because the position that was open was less than 12 months, we executed the appointment, which is Section 5 of the bylaws, and there'll be an article about it in the next Voice, I believe. But the board received 5 applicants from the community who all showed an interest in joining the board of trustees. And the board up here unanimously selected Donna Williams. I'm sorry.
Come on down.
We welcome you to the board, and if you'd just like to say hi to everybody and introduce yourself, and then we'll take the pressure off you.
Thank you so very much. I'm so honored to be a part of this board. I love being here in Concordia. I've only been here for almost 3 years. It'll be 3 years. But I've taken part in some of the wonderful activities that we've had, and I've had a chance to meet wonderful people, and especially my neighbors. They're so supportive. And at the pool, I have new people I meet all the time. But the most important thing is that my background is really communications and marketing. I worked at the Metropolitan Museum of Art for 23 years, and that's the department I was in. So I hope I can be an asset to the board and certainly to you. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Donna. And with that, I'd like to ask for a motion to accept the open meeting minutes from the July 8th meeting.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from the July 8th meeting.
Can I get a second?
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No? Very good. Excellent. Okay, folks. A couple of things, opening comments before we get into the discussion around the finance and management report. I've received, many of us up here have received quite a few comments about the last few board meetings, open board meetings that we've had. There's been a lot of discussion around the amount of time that's being taken on issues that are really not germane to the rest of the community. You know, the fact that my grass is overgrown at 1313 Hummingbird Lane doesn't really mean much to the 2,280 some people who live here. The thing that we also forget up here, many of us, and I'm sure all of you as well, is that while we have a room of 40, 50 people, we have several hundred watching live on WCOC at the moment. In addition, we rerun the board meetings for a week, 4 times a day, another 20 to 30 viewings. When these meetings go 2 hours, and an hour of it is spent talking about, you know, my overgrown grass or my gutter falling down, it's a waste of the community's time. So we're setting some rules in place for the Q&A. And I just wanted to bring them up now so that there aren't there isn't any confusion. So first off, questions are coming over from the podium here. We've moved it over to this side because it'll be easier for the camera, and therefore all the people who are going to ask questions need to sit over there now instead of over on the other side. We've limiting questions, as I say, only to issues that are germane to the community. You want to talk about community's finances, you want to talk about, anything involving all of us, please ask. You're going to be limited to one question. We'll give you an answer. If you have a follow-up question to the answer, we'll let you ask that follow-up question. If you have additional questions, you're going to go to the back of the line so that everybody in the community has an opportunity to come up and say what they want to say. And lastly, we want to put a time limit on how long these questions are asked. So we're going to set a time limit of 2 minutes. What we're going to do is we're going to trust everybody to know what 2 minutes feels like. We're not going to set a timer, we're not going to make a bell go off, we're not going to slam the gavel, get the hook or anything, but we'd like you to at least honor each other. Honor each other and your time, because the time for the people in this room and the time for the people on WCOC is important time. And we want to give them as much information as we can and then move on. So with that said, I'm going to give the mic over to Diana so she can give us financial report.
Okay, thank you, Chad. So I want to go over some information before I get to the this month's financials. Last month I was asked, what are we going to do about the cable income fee deficit? It's a difference. As you know, we calculated $395,000 into our budget this year, but because we must defer that over 5 years, we technically only have $52,000 to count in this year, which could potentially give us a shortfall of $343,000. However, we also have expenses coming in much lower than originally budgeted for. We will realize a $225,000 savings on insurance this year, a $29,000 savings on depreciation, and over a $100,000 savings on payroll. Those 3 line items alone come to $354,000, which is more than enough to cover that cable difference. We also, next year, we will be budgeting $79,000 as cable fee income. What we have to defer, so over the next 4 years, we will be having that income each year. I've also been asked, what are we doing about the monies due us from the township? We received a check on July 10th for the 2024 street lighting. It was $28,532. We followed up on this because I don't believe that's the full amount that they owe us. So Mike has gone back to them for that. We also received $47,301 for recycling for 2024. That is a correct amount. We also requested from the township proof of payment for the 2024 snow reimbursement of $59,000. They sent us a statement, but we don't have the check, so we've asked them for proof of payment on that. And for the 4th quarter of 2023 street lighting of approximately $15,000. So just to keep you all informed, Mike and I have been staying on top of this and are working. We can't go to the township and write the checks ourselves. So we are chasing them on a regular basis. The other thing I learned today, FSR had issued a check to us a couple of weeks ago for the monies due us for the closing fees. Today, they stopped payment on that check and are issuing a wire, as the check has never been received. So those funds have been taken care of. Now I can go on to the June financials. Our total operating cash is at $1,255,000, discretionary cash is at $477,000, and reserve cash is at $1,620,000. $1,229,029, giving us a total of $3,372,000. Our receivables are at $114,000, and our over 90 days are at $71,000. That keeps going down. Moving into our operating income, we are above budget. So even with the less monies that we expected on the cable, or that we can count on the cable fees, we are still ahead in our income received by $37,000. Going through the financials, we're halfway through the year. Our building and grounds, we are over budget by $312,000. The bulk of that is the snow removal. Our building maintenance, we are under budget by $141,000. Our security, we're just about even. There's a difference of $13,000 there. Our payroll services, we are under budget by $78,000 through June 30th. General expenses, we are under budget by $208,000. At the end of the day, our total operating expenses, we are under budget by $103,000. So we're doing very well for the year. I don't like to get too much into the capital reserves, as things are really picking up now with the warm weather. The more roofs are being done, sidings are being done. So this isn't a true picture. But we are under budget on that as well. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Diana. The management report, Mike, could you help us there?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. A couple of talking points. Some of you may have noticed yesterday, notice went out with regards to the indoor pool. That has been closed for a paint project. We expect that to be completed and reopened for use by next Wednesday, a week from tomorrow, next Wednesday, the 20th of August. If it's open any sooner, we'll certainly notify the community. This is the tail end of the significant air conditioning and dehumidification project that started at the tail end of 23, took most of 24 and a little bit now into 25 to wrap up. Very significant. The indoor pool air quality has been transformed, and as a result, the swimmability and usability of the room is equally transformed. So like I said, we are expecting to put this back in service by next Wednesday, the 20th, and thank everybody for their patience. Landscape and irrigation update. There have been a significant amount of irrigation repairs over the last 3 weeks. There is a very significant multi-section wiring restoration project for the irrigation that's going on. That impacts sections 14 and 19. So for anybody who's in 14 or 19 who has not observed sprinklers operational in the last few weeks, this is exactly why. It's tied directly to this. Some of the wiring harness that controls all of those timers had failed. The problem is it failed under a roadway, and it required an extensive amount of wire repulling, but we're bifurcating it so they'll operate on 2 separate sections instead of one. When one wiring failed, 2 sections went down, so we're deciding to improve that. So they'll be individually wired so that they can stand and operate autonomously from each other. We'll provide an update on that. It should be another 2 weeks for that to be completed, but we'll certainly let the residents know once done. As I've been saying throughout the entire landscape season, there is no mulch this year, just as a friendly reminder. That will continue throughout the end of this year. Work order reports, we started to turn the corner. We opened 142 in the last month since our last meeting. We closed 67. So it sounds like it's still out of whack, but the reality is the intake is slowing down and the closing of the work order loop is actually increasing. So we expect this trend to continue throughout August into September, and then we can really correct it towards the tail end of the season as we're able to close all of those open tickets and shrink that running open work order tally. Also ongoing is the dry vent and fireplace chimney cleaning. That's going to go on through the end of September. The receipts are coming in very fast and furious throughout July and now into August. We're no means done. We're approximately halfway through. So for those who have got it done, thank you. For those who haven't, get it done, please. We appreciate your compliance. Thank you. Some updates on some road repairs and driveway work that have been going on. There were a handful of sections that had some roadway crack filling completed last week. There have been a number of sections, and forgive me, I don't have the specific sections in front of me, where the seal coating has been completed, and there are a few sections that remain to be completed the end of this week and into next week. And then the driveways that have been marked for replacement, which is a mill down and repave, are going to start next week. We'll provide, obviously, information to those affected people as the dates are coming due. You should be receiving notices from maintenance, from the contractor, or both. If you have any questions, just reach out to maintenance or reach out to me here in the clubhouse. That's what I have, and I'll be happy to hang around at the adjournment for anybody who has any individual service needs. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Before we do the committee updates, I just want to let everybody know we're in the final throes of creating the new committees. Everybody has submitted their applications. We've reviewed them. We wanted to fill the open seat on the board before we made the final determinations, which we will do at our next executive board meeting, which is this coming Tuesday. And then everybody will be made aware of the committees that they're going to be joining. So with that, if we could get a couple of updates anyway, I think, Sue?
Yeah, just a few things. Hi, everybody. Thanks for a nice turnout tonight. Just going to go over a couple of our events that we have coming up. We're going to have another Tunes on the Terrace next Tuesday. Hopefully, weather permitting, it'll be out on the terrace. There's still tickets available for the Jets-Philadelphia game. So stop in the concierge if you're interested in that. That's going to be on August 22nd. We're going to be having a Labor Day pool party on September 1st from 1 to 5, and our very own Concordia Chords will be playing for us. And the a la carte food truck will be here to purchase food. We have the bus ride that went on sale today is sold out for Buena Vista on October 8th, but we're looking into a possibility of having another bus and then possibly another date. So that, more to come on that. We didn't expect to sell out so fast. Honky Tonk Chicks on September 13th. Tickets are on sale now. Murder Mystery Dinner Theater on October 18th. Again, tickets are ready for sale at the concierge. Comedy Night, November 8th. And New York City Holiday Lights Tour on December 16th. And of course, our New Year's Eve party on December 31st. Tickets are on sale. So please come out.
They're on sale already? Oh, wow.
No, they're not on
No,
sale.
not on sale yet, I
Oh,
don't
not
think.
on
No.
sale yet? Oh, sorry.
Not New Year's.
Pretty
Tickets
soon.
Tickets are going on sale, I believe it's September 14th for New
Okay.
Year's
Did I
Eve.
miss something here? Yes.
Pretty soon.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Sue. Sharon, did you want to
As usual, yes. Our Welcome Committee is sponsoring Coffee and Conversation. It will be September 14th, that's Sunday, 12:30, right here in the Regency Room. It's becoming quite an event. We had a very large turnout, and I think everybody had a good time meeting new residents. So I'd like to welcome everyone. The board, 100% attendance is wonderful. Everybody's getting to meet us. So please come, 12:30, September 14th. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. Amy?
Okay, hi. I want to remind everybody, as you know, every year, the Health Committee sponsors or holds a breast cancer walk. This year, the breast cancer walk will be held on October 12th. It will start at 10 a.m. Please sign up, take part in it if you can. You'll also start to see at several other events, the Health Committee will have tables set up where they'll be selling pink ribbons and collecting donations for this amazingly worthy cause. If you come to Tunes on the Terrace next week, there will be a table set up there with the Health Committee, trying to gather as much as we can. So it all goes to St. Peter's, and it's breast cancer affects so many of us. It's a very sad situation, but the more we can do to help, the better we'll all feel. So I hope you'll support us. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Okay, I think with that, is any other committee? No, because we're still trying to get everybody together. Okay, great.
All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Excellent. Anybody second?
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Very good, thank you. Now, I've seen some people come in, so just as we get started with the Q&A, put a reminder out, those who might not have heard at the beginning, that we are limiting the Q&A session to community-wide issues only. We're not going to be speaking to individual property problems. If you have an individual property problem, submit a maintenance request, and if you have submitted a maintenance request and are not getting the satisfaction that you expect, speak with Mike after the meeting. He said he will stay as long as he needs to speak to all of you who wish to talk with him. We are also asking that you only ask one question at a time. We'll give you an answer. We'll allow a follow-up question to that, but then you need to go to the back of the line so that the other residents have an opportunity and no one resident takes control of the Q&A session. And we're going to try and ask that you limit your question to a 2-minute time frame so that everybody has a chance to talk. Thank you. Can you please share your name and location?
Yes, my name is Jerry Schwartz, 9A Hillsborough Drive. My question is really a statement, and Chad, you almost took the wind out of my sails. The board meetings, and in all due respects to Paul and John Watts and Frank Maffa, I don't see Frank, they're protecting our backs by asking all these accounting questions and financial questions, and I have nothing but respect for you guys. I think you're doing a great job. My question is, or my statement, is there a way, since I believe the accounting questions take over 50% of the Q&A, with the debate back and forth between Mike and the board and everybody, is there a way either to simplify the statements that go out that we receive so there's less misunderstanding about what belongs in column A or column B or page 5 or page 7, or could we have the financials done at another venue? Because if 30 people are asking questions, John's and Paul's and Frank Moffa's, that dominates 50% of the Q&A time. So my question is there another way to approach the accounting questions? That's all I'm asking.
Well,
Mike, I don't know. Is there another way to do it?
That's a good question, Jerry. I don't produce the financials. I just forward them. So I can ask if there's a different format that maybe is, to your comment, a little simplified format. I don't necessarily know the answer to that. The question about holding a separate meeting to discuss finances, I serve the board. The board doesn't serve me. That's a question that would go to them.
Okay, listen, thanks for listening. I just thought it was worth mentioning. That's all. Thank you very much.
yeah, no, thank you very much, Sherry.
Thank you.
Hi, Paul Rosenheim, 29 Martin Van Buren. Sorry, okay, Paul Rosenheim, 29 Martin Van Buren. I was going over the June financials, and I noticed, which was very good, a favorable variance that, based on the report, will result in savings of $112,000, which is the insurance. And it was budgeted for almost 1.3 million, which is 35% higher than the last year's actual of 947,000. And we all know that HOA insurance premiums have been going up for the past few years at rates higher than 9%, and that the insurance premiums for the year are usually not finalized until December because our policy runs to mid-December. So when the budget is done, we're really working on a guesstimate from the agent. and until mid-December, we don't know what the actual one is. So my question is, did we change any of our coverages, such as increasing our deductibles or eliminating or reducing coverage to get the lower premiums?
We did not change our coverage, but they did put in a wind coverage with a, I believe it was a 2% deductible.
2%
Versus-
of what?
We did, 2%. Yes.
Let me take a swing at this. So previously, the wind deductible was at 25,000. They illustrated an alternate renewal plan that would allow us to pivot to a 2% wind deductible of the claim. Your deductible would be 2% of the claim. And given the history here, they were able to establish that there has been negligible wind claims for wind, so that there was no inherent risk to deviate from the 25K deductible to the 2% wind deductible. It did result in a reduced premium, but this area of New Jersey doesn't usually get hit with wind claims that systemic where it would impact your community in a catastrophic level. You can have a singular wind event, maybe knocks a tree down, does some damage to a structure, but was prudent guidance from your insurance provider, Brown & Brown, and they offered those two options to the board. It also worth noting that the other change in coverages, workers' comp was dramatically reduced from about 32,000 to, I believe, 1,300 or 1,288, I think is the policy amount. It's a minimum compliance policy. Once the HOA outsourced all of its direct staff employees, that burden of risk shifted with that. So we were able to save another 30-some-odd thousand there as well.
Okay. So with that 2% deductible, are we planning in any way to set up a reserve and fund that reserve to cover, should we have wind damage?
We can consider that, but we had not. We did not set up a reserve for that, but we may consider that on the next budget. Paul, I'm going to ask you at this time, rather than circle to the back of the line if you have more questions.
No, that's it.
That's it for tonight?
That's it.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you, Paul.
Oh, okay. My name is Marcia Wish, and I live at 6A Hillsborough Drive. And I've gone to the different plays in New York. This is the fourth play that I've been to. And this morning, I was there at 10 minutes of 6, and I was 23rd placement. And there's 55 tickets to the play, and I figured I'd be 40. There would be 46 by the time I got there. At 10 o'clock, they called in the people who had checks and were supposedly going to be getting tickets. And we found out that it said on the original sheet that per household, the person waiting would get 2 tickets. We find out they could get 4 tickets. So that meant less people in line would be getting tickets. And who those other 2 tickets were for, I have no idea. But I think it's very unfair because they said there would be 2 tickets. Why were they given 4?
Nobody should have gotten 4.
They did.
This is the first we're hearing of this.
Yeah. Please, at the end of the meeting, let's talk about that because that should not have
Yeah, we were
the
very
case.
angry at it.
I gather. So, yes, let's talk about it
And
at the end.
I have to say, John Patterson has done a phenomenal job. He has a great way with people, and he's really to be commended for his work.
He was trying to keep the lid on it, I bet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Lillian Hullen, and I live at 3D Spalding Drive. My question is to Mike, Mr. Camberg. I had just sent an email about my unresolved lawn sprinkler issue, and you did reply saying, quote, my question to you is, what do you mean by temporary wire connections? Because in my backyard, there's this thing.
If this is an, Miss, if this is an individual home situation, please come see Mike after the meeting. Everybody here would appreciate that. Thank you. We'll be happy to speak with you about it, but this is not a forum for individual property problems. That's what the maintenance system's for, and sit down with Mike and talk. That's great. But please, these people really, thank you.
This meeting is different from the last one, so.
This is the way we need to run them.
Okay, good evening. My name is Diane Scott Bay. I live at 7 Rothwell Drive. Mine is more of a comment and a compliment. I recently had an issue with respect to ants. And I know that during a previous meeting, there was some discussion about who was responsible for what. And the rule of thumb, my understanding as far as the rule of thumb is everything from the beams in is the homeowner's responsibility. Everything from the beams out is...
Could you speak closer to the mic? I really can't hear you.
Okay. Everything from the beams out is the association's responsibility, with the exception of the windows and doors. So I was aware of that. I had an issue, and I was asking to have the bushes cut back. And I was told they would get to it, or they had 30 days to get to any maintenance complaint, which to me seems excessive in some cases. And in this particular case, the bushes were not only interfering with my air conditioning system, but it was also providing a bridge for the ants to get into the house.
Excuse me.
Okay, but, you know.
We asked that you not deal with individual
Okay,
property
again,
problems.
It's not so much of an individual problem. It has to deal with everybody because, again, the 30 days is my issue, really. There are some things that are more critical and can't wait the 30 days, as in this particular case. So, okay, if you want me to ask a question, I'll ask a question. What is the system? How do you determine what's critical and what isn't? Because this gentleman that I spoke with on the phone told me 30 days. I can't wait 30 days, you know, for this ant problem. But on the positive side, I did call maintenance. I spoke with Donna. I gave Corey a letter. I spoke with Donna. The next day, the landscaping people rang my bell. The following day, they were out there to cut the bushes back. So the letter I gave to Corey was to thank Donna, although I called and thanked her anyway.
Oh,
But to
okay,
thank
please. Please, you're over 2 minutes. I appreciate the problem. I appreciate the issue, but this is
It's
not for
just-
everybody. No,
It's
please,
not just me, it's
have some
everybody.
respect for your neighbors, please.
I do, and I
Good.
sit here, when I come to the meetings, I sit here and I hear people go on and on.
Yes,
on.
and we've stopped that because,
Okay. All I'm saying is, what is the bottom line as far as the, what is considered emergent and what fits into that 30-day time frame? If somebody can answer that question for me,
I'll
sit down.
try. Thank you. I'm not sure who you spoke to that told you, what gentleman said it's a 30 days wait for service. I don't know what you show me. I can't read that from here.
No, I've got the email here.
Okay, so I'll be happy to take a look at that after, but generally speaking, we receive, whether it's a service request, a work order, notification of an incident, a complaint, whatever it is, depending on what the context of that is, it immediately will determine priority. So someone may call and say, hey, my bushes are overgrown, I need my shrubs cut back. Someone can call and say, hey, sprinkler head just popped and water's gushing next to my house. And someone else can call and say, hey, my roof's leaking like a sieve and I need service. So all of those have a different level of serviceability. Look, there are some service requests that come in that do take in excess of 30 days. Some of that is budgetary constraints. We've got some people waiting for siding, concrete work, asphalt work, and unfortunately the budget constraints don't allow us to do it in a time frame faster than that. But if you'd like, I'll be happy to take a look and dig in with you afterwards and get a little further into the weeds with this. I have no problem with that. I just want to be respectful of the trustees.
No, I understand that.
Thank you, Diane. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Marlene Zarnowski, 29 George Washington Drive, and I have a question. I was going through Neighbor the other day looking at notices, and one said, Concordia residents, you're going to be expected to change your water heater out if it's more than 10 years old. Scared the hell out of me because I know how much that costs, so I'm asking the authorities who should know what the truth is on this. Are we going to have to do this, and where did this come from?
That was something somebody started on Nextdoor, and they're going on Nextdoor, and they want to submit a petition to the township, which I don't think they'll ever, the township can't tell you when you have to change your water heater.
Right.
So that's not going to grow legs.
I wouldn't worry about it
Don't worry about
at
it.
all, because you're absolutely right.
I saw it too, and thought,
It's just
Craziness.
little craziness going on in other community, and they're not from here, and we're not at all going to support something like that, because the water heater is not a timed device. Thank you.
It's over 10 years old, so I know they don't last forever, but
Yep.
I didn't
But-
feel like I'd rather spend it on something else. Thank you very much.
I just want
Thank
to say
you.
one thing about Nextdoor. A lot of people here on Nextdoor posting things. If you have questions, Nextdoor is not going to give you the answer. Please write to Ask the Board at concordiahoanj.com, and don't believe half of the things that you read. Thank you.
Yep, that's absolutely true. Okay. One more. Two more.
My name is Beverly Goldstein, and I'm at 19B Alexander Hamilton. I have a little issue. I walk my dog twice a day, and every day I see more and more of the electrical boxes along Concordia Circle that are open, which are taped, that wires are hanging out, and I said something to someone in the clubhouse, and they said they're working on it. But this is going on for a couple of years, and it's getting worse and worse. And I think that it's an accident waiting to happen with all these wires. I have to constantly be pulling my dog away from it because I'm afraid she'll touch something that could be a danger. And if anybody has grandchildren coming, there shouldn't be loose wires hanging out of any place on a main street.
Completely agree. I've been working with, Jerry actually was working, and we're continuing to work with JCP&L, First Energy.
Right.
We filed complaints with the town, the mayor's involved. The mayor has assigned a advisor with us. We've now gotten the attention of supposedly a customer service director from their headquarters. I personally have spoken with them and complained about the fact that we have rusting transformer boxes on every one of our 108 streets.
Exactly.
And I said, this is an accident waiting to happen. They're well aware of it. They are cheap. They are worried about their finances. They are always looking to make a profit. They want to spend nothing, and they take in money. But we're beating on them, and we are literally beating them on a weekly basis. You are right. We're going to keep beating on them. We're not going to stop.
Well,
Same with the lighting.
That's good to hear, because even if it's partly locked, it's not even locked up good. you know, and
It rusted right through some of them. You could see inside of them.
they're laying down, it's lifted up from the ground.
We understand, we're dealing with it, and we're going to take care of it. Thank you, thank you.
As a homeowner, you should call the number on your JCP&L bill too and lodge a
Yes, the
complaint.
more noise people
Anybody-
make, the
yeah,
better it would be for all of
everybody out
us.
there. If you have one in your yard, call JCP&L. You know,
Absolutely.
the squeaky wheel gets the oil, so if they have enough complaints from Concordia, maybe they'll get over here.
Just so everybody knows, the big boxes are JCP&L, First Energy. The small ones are Cablevision or Verizon. So if you've got a small box, don't call JCP&L. Call Comcast. It actually has a label on it. If you can see, it'll say which one of the companies it comes from.
Most of them are from Comcast or
Yeah.
the other Verizon or
All
whatever, yeah.
three of them are 40-plus years old, and they don't last that long. So all of these companies need to step it up. And if you call, make noise, it'll just help.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
Good evening, Jeff Barrico, 6A Worcester. First off, I want to thank Mike for the follow-through and the improvement on the maintenance. It's noticeable. Thank you for opening up the office again, because some of us make mistakes and we don't know the difference between connect and neighbor. And I think that needs to be better explained, because I put on maintenance issues as issues on there. Mike followed through, made sure they got forwarded, but I don't think to the layperson it's very easy to explain when you're pulling down a menu that says issues or complaints, and you're putting in issues, and you're thinking it's maintenance. So I just think there's an opportunity there. That's number one. Number two, where are we at with the dog park?
Go ahead, Mike.
So the rollout should start in about a week. They got delayed repeatedly. The last delay was supposed to be last week, the 4th through the 6th. I'm now told it'll be the 18th through the 20th that they'll be out here to install the fencing. AFX fencing, local fencing agency right here in Monroe. They've done all the fence work for us. But we're kind of beholden to they're a seasonal contractor, and they're stuck with dealing with the weather. The weather was not kind to them the first half of the summer, so they've admitted they're playing catch-up. They've apologized for their tardiness, but I'm expecting to see them, like I said, 18th, 19th, 20th, so next week.
Okay, how much is this costing?
I think somewhere between $7,000 and $8,000 is the total cost for the fencing. I think that's really, it was another couple $100 for a poop station, part of my vulgarity, but that's really the extent of it. Yes.
It's a one-time cost. There's no ongoing cost.
Understood, but you know, part of the fiduciary responsibility when we're sweating so many dollars and cutting things out, I just have a concern that when other things like this come up, it should really be put to a vote for the community where we have a say in this, because Diane, I liked your explanations about next year. We do have the $79,000 coming from Comcast, because quite frankly, I was sweating where that $400,000 was going to come from next year. That's great, but we got to start thinking long-term, because as these costs go up and the repairs go up and the roofs go up, we got to do our fiduciary responsibility and watch every dollar. I mean, and it's great that we're watching dollars and we're not doing mulch and this and that, but when we're doing something like this, which is only going to serve so many people in the community, meanwhile we have one community park a mile away that has a dog park. I'm not a dog owner, so I'll say that. So I have one last question statement. The air conditioner and heater we put in the building, are we getting any kind of energy or rebate or tax credit this year?
I can't answer as far as the tax credit goes. I'd have to check with your auditor, your accountants. I'm not aware of any. I can tell you that unfortunately, we did not create any energy efficiency with removal of the old one. The last one operated on full electric. This one is gas-fired. So there was not we did not remove one electric appliance and replaced it with a more energy-efficient electric appliance. We removed a defunct appliance that was powered by electric, but replaced it with something state-of-the-art, but it serves gas. The problem with that is your grant's usually based on the perceived reduction, and we didn't show any.
Okay.
So that's unfortunate. In fact, the unit didn't run for 3 years, so you had that trend baked into your electric bill, so you were showing no usage. So even if it was running inefficiently, we'd at least have that savings, but we had nothing. So we have an increase in our gas usage, but there was no opportunity. We also looked to see if there's an opportunity for a grant program going into it. PSE&G was able to offer us a whopping $765 towards that. Impressive. Wasn't, but it's the only thing we qualified for. It had to do with the permitting fees. That was really it.
Very good.
Great, thank you.
Like I said, if you just take a look at that connect versus the maintenance, or have a different pull-down menu
Yep.
over there, and then you'll get less aggravation.
Yeah.
Aggravation avoidance.
I appreciate it.
Gotcha.
I do.
Aggravation avoidance.
I do want to just make one extra comment to what you had said, Jeff. So in the preparation of the 2026 budget, management, in conjunction with the board, will issue a report with some guidance and guidelines, and it will reflect not only what we're budgeting for in 26, but what that ripple effect looks like for 27 and 28 beyond that. I won't forecast beyond 28. My goal is to get a certain amount of things accomplished on the budget so that by 28 it looks very strong, but I will provide a narrative that describes that plan to the board. When we provide the draft to them, the board will then put their input into it. We'll create a living document that we will issue and update each year with the budget, because people are entitled to understand not just what we're budgeting for next year, but what the plan is beyond that, the why behind the what, so to speak, if that makes sense.
Also, if Amy could share something. We're putting up a website that's going to be,
Yeah, we're in the process right now, actually. The website is being developed currently. It will replace all of those hassling things like Connect and Neighbor. Everything will be in one place, and it'll be a great place for clubs and the committees and such to advertise, and for you to do things, everything that you need to do, your maintenance requests, what upcoming events. It'll all be a one-stop shop. So that's going to be happening very, very soon.
Very good. And one other suggestion or
wait,
comment,
we-
with the contract
Please.
coming up.
We said one question.
we have people waiting, we set the rule in place. Thank you very much, Jeff. That's it? We're done? Jeff, if you had one more point, go for it.
All right. One of the great ideas that I thought Mike brought to the board was using several different contractors for roofing.
Yep.
Suggestion, landscapers are up next year.
Yep.
Maybe we want to have 2 different landscapers in the development. This way, if somebody's got a problem or a staffing problem, we might have a second company to call on. Because the way things are going right now, you got to start thinking, what happens if? And we all know what I'm talking about.
Yep. Well, we've had some discussions on that topic. We're looking at possibly splitting the job up, one to do landscape, one to do the sprinklers. You know, we have a lot of different opportunities here, but that is a area that we're going to be focused on this year because it's one of our biggest expenses.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
I'm done.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. I appreciate all of you. Thank you, and have a good night, everyone. Get home safe.